Did you know that every time you swipe your credit card or withdraw cash from the ATM or even file those taxes, you're benefiting from a technology that's older than the internet itself? This technology is the mainframe. And while you may have never heard of or even seen one of these systems are the silent partner of the global economy. Mainframes, while considered a relic of the past by some, are powerful computers that still play an essential role in our daily lives, a role which is now being threatened by a growing skills gap as talent retires faster than it can be replaced. Hey, I am Steven, and after spending more than 20 years as a front-end web developer, I recently entered the exciting world of IBM Z mainframes. And since April, I have been training as a pre-apprentice with the Eli Madison Memorial Apprenticeship, or EMMA, where I have already received more than 150 hours of hands-on experience on a Z15 mainframe. Today, we're going to be talking about what mainframes are, and we'll explore why they're still vital and who uses them, and finally, we'll get to the skills gap. So let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. What is a mainframe? Well, according to Merriam-Webster.com, a mainframe is a large, powerful computer that handles many tasks all at once. Now, if you, like me, are left going, let me try to break this down further with an analogy. I want you to think of your laptop as a food truck. It's perfect for a single chef, and it can handle a few orders at a time. It has its own power, it has its own ingredients, and it gets the job done for a small number of customers. It's mobile and flexible like your laptop. But if too many people show up, the chef gets overwhelmed and the orders quickly back up. If you want to scale to include a second chef, you may have to invest in a larger food truck or even a secondary one. Now let's look at a mainframe as a corporate office building. Each floor has its own separate, fully independent workspace with its own computers and its own dedicated teams who perform very specific tasks. Need to grow? That's not a problem. You can easily divide floors into smaller workplaces with more computers and dedicated teams which now perform even more specific tasks. The great thing is you don't have to buy a whole new building to do this. You're simply splitting up the floor, but sharing the building's core resources such as power, internet, and even elevators. This ability to scale is just one of the many ways a mainframe handles immense workloads. All right, we're going to do a history lesson, but don't worry, I'll keep it short. Now I'm going to do my best not to put you to sleep. According to IBM, the Harvard Mark I was the first mainframe computer. It was introduced in 1937, and it was also known by its shorter name, the IBM Automatic Sequence Controlled Calculator. I try to say that 3 times fast. The U.S. Navy Bureau of Ships used the Mark I during World War II to quickly solve math problems for the military. Jumping forward, we come to the IBM System 360. Now, this is widely considered to be the first modern mainframe, and IBM introduced it in 1964. By 1966, it had become an industry standard. And one thing that's important to note here is that prior to the System 360, if you wrote software and then bought a new system, you had to rewrite that software for the new system. The System 360 changed this by separating software from hardware. This allowed you to write programs for one machine and then run them on any other machine in that same family. And now finally, we get to 2025 and the Z17. This was launched in April of this year, 2025, and the IBM Z17 is the most powerful mainframe to date. Well, congratulations, you now know what a mainframe is, and you are now among the few who've seen a mainframe. or at least pictures of one. Now that you know what a mainframe is, I'll explore why they're still important and who uses them. Let's start by looking at some of the benefits to companies who choose to use mainframes. And the first is sustainability. On IBM's What is a Mainframe webpage, they state that data centers account for approximately 1% of global energy consumption. They say that mainframes not only use less energy, but modern mainframes reduce the real estate footprint, which allows data centers to reduce their size. Next, let's talk about availability. Mainframes almost never fail. And think about it, downtime for a bank could be a complete disaster. This is another place where mainframes excel. IBM, who is the leading mainframe manufacturer, boasts an impressive 7 nines of availability. This translates to virtually zero downtime, which is what the Z in IBM Z stands for. Zero, as in zero downtime. Next, one of the major reasons that financial institutions and even retailers love mainframes is for their speed. If you want to, please imagine being in a checkout line at the grocery store. You swipe your credit card and it takes minutes for everything to know if everything is okay. Now, it wouldn't take very long for you to get fed up with this, and fortunately you don't have to put up with this. It is this speed offered by a mainframe which is one of the major reasons why financial institutions and retailers love them. A modern mainframe, can process millions of transactions per second. Millions. This incredible speed is why when you swipe your card at the store, it happens almost instantaneously. Now, let's take a moment to put this into perspective. In IBM's white paper, how mainframes are rewriting the AI playbook, they use the following example. Amazon.com processes roughly 12 million orders a day. With modern mainframes being able to process 1 million orders per second, this means that it could process all of Amazon's orders in just 12 seconds. Put another way, that's faster than Bill Nye can speedwalk. All right, so now we take a look at who uses mainframes. But I want to start with this. According to a report from Allied Market Research, the global mainframe market is projected to reach around $5.6 billion, that's US dollars, by 2032. With that in mind, let's finally answer that question of who's driving this demand and who's using them. According to IBM's What is a Mainframe website, the answer is financial institutions, healthcare organizations, and retailers. As a fun fact to keep in mind, a CDW article titled Rethinking Mainframe Modernization, notes that Walmart is one of the largest consumers of mainframe technologies. Now remember, keep that in the back of your mind as we go forward. All right, finally, we are at the skills gap. Now, I want to paint you a picture here. Imagine that one day your paycheck doesn't clear, or worse, you can't submit your taxes. And this is all because these systems rely on mainframes, and when no one knows how to fix them, things go wrong. This isn't science fiction. This is a crisis that we face if we ignore the skills gap. Now, according to Franklin Skills, an authority on tech workforce trends, they say when mainframe systems go down, entire economies grind to a halt. There are many factors at play here, but the ones that I see coming to play are an aging workforce. The people who work on mainframes are getting older. Most of the mainframe workforce is approximately 55 and older, and as a result, there's a real concern about long-term stability. While it's not an immediate problem, over the next 5 to 10 years, we can expect to see seasoned professionals retire. Now, this retirement wave is colliding with a serious skills gap. Younger tech workers are often focused on modern flashy technologies, and fewer colleges are teaching mainframes. This creates a critical shortage of experience at a time that we need it the most. As the Franklin Skills Report continues, they say that the challenge isn't really a lack of jobs, but rather bridging the skills gap between generations. Now, the second thing that we have to think about here is that companies are not investing in training mainframe people. Many businesses haven't prioritized training for this next generation of mainframe professionals, and this is often because they're hesitant to invest in what they perceive as older technology. Now remember back, I asked you to keep something in mind in that CDW article, Rethinking Mainframe Modernization. Well, in that, the CTO of Walmart is quoted as saying, "It's old technology." This simply isn't true. It's a big lie. The mainframe has consistently been updated over the years and, in fact, has in many cases contributed to lots of innovations that we take for granted every day, one of those being virtualization. Additionally, as you saw earlier in April this year, 2025, IBM launched the IBM Z17, which has a lot of AI features baked into its design. So, what's the solution? In that same Franklin Skills article, they suggest a few solutions to fix the skills gap, including focusing on skills over credentials and apprenticeship programs, like the one offered at no cost by Emma, and are just some of the ways that we can bridge this gap. Now, Emma, one of the things that separates Emma from other training programs is that everything is hands-on. These aren't point and click and take a quiz certificates, which means that this will help alleviate some of that stress, because on day one, a Emma pre-apprentice or apprentice at that point is going to be able to contribute to the company on day one. And that's important because that reduces the pressure of the company to try to get these individuals trained up in time. All right, before I wrap up, I want to share a famous quote from InfoWorld analyst Stuart Alsop, who famously in March of 1991 made a prediction that the last mainframe will be unplugged on March 15th, 1996. You win some, you lose some. Well, in this speech, you've learned that mainframes, while considered a relic of the past, are powerful computers that still play an essential role in the growing skill in our daily lives, a role that is now threatened by the growing skills gap as talent retires faster than they can be replaced. So next time you tap your credit card, remember that the real magic isn't in the shiny apps. It's thanks to the mainframe. In a world obsessed with new tech, face this, insta that, I want you to remember that mainframes are the silent partner of the global economy. My name is Stephen, and I want to thank you for listening to this.